Hey guys, it's Matt here again. I've had a lot of people on Instagram ask me about my Conan the Barbarian collection. Honestly, I've been getting a lot of questions in the last week or so, and I've thought about this in the past. This is going to be my new video. I'm going to try to show off my Conan the Barbarian and comics collection, and it might take a while, but let's have fun with this. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the CGC books that I have of Conan. This is the 2019 Conan the Barbarian series. This is the 1 in 500 retailer variant cover. 9.8, gotta love that. This might be my favorite book in the room. I don't know, I have a lot of favorite books in the room, but this is definitely in that small list. 9.4, this is the original, back in 1970. This is the first printing in the 2004 Dark Horse Conan series. And I don't have these books in any particular order, the CGC'd ones. But this is a variant cover for Conan the Barbarian number 4, the 2019 series. They just had Spider-Man and Red Goblin on it. Second printing, 2004 Dark Horse Conan series. A 1 in 10 variant of the 2019 Conan 1. I kind of like this one. Conan in the arena. It just looks pretty savage. Here's the third printing of the 2004 series. Cameraman, I like how you're scrolling up. I just realized that you were doing it. I didn't realize that you actually had a system. This is a Frank Frazetta cover series. It did, I believe, 8 of these. Dark Horse put them out in 2000. It took them a few years. It wasn't like once a month, but that's issue number 3. And here's a nude cover. I don't want to show all of that. This is Conan number 24 from 2006, but this was limited to 3,000 copies. And then another one of my gems that I have in this room is Savage Tales number 1. It's actually, I have pretty much doubles of almost all those books that I've CGC'd. Almost all. But this is one, I wanted it in a high grade. I have one, it's probably 8.0 to 9.0. I didn't send it CGC, but it's, we'll see it here a little bit. Those are my CGCs. Since I already got my magazines out here, I might as well show you what I have here. Over here in this box on the floor, they put out a reprint series called Conan Saga, and they made 97 of these. This is an old Barry Windsor Smith cover, and they made 97 of these. And in this book, I have 97 of them. And for the most part, they are word-for-word reprints of Savage Sword of Conan. Right here, here's a Savage Sword of Conan number 1, first appearance in magazine format. Well, no, that's not true. Forgive me, the Savage Tales number 1 is, but Savage Sword number 1, number 2. Some of these covers, they were just very artistic, is the best way to put it. They always made Conan look very savage. He's always in a fighting scene, normally with a lady at his side. This has Red Sonja at the side. Here's number 3. Again, a lady, a damsel in distress, if you will, and some goblin trying to eat her, and he's jumping in to save her. Got some primitive man-beast, and again, a lady. I'm seeing a pattern here. And a lot of times, this cover for number 5, this is such an iconic cover. I love this cover. The skull in the background and Conan on a crucifix. A lot of these covers, the art on the cover had nothing to do with the story inside. They just showed, a lot of graphic scenes. Some of them, the cover did match the story, but not all of them. I'm not going to show all of these. I'll probably show the first 10 or so. Here's number 7. Number 8. And I probably know who the cover artists are, but because I'm not 100% sure, I'm just going to kind of keep it to myself, because I guarantee somebody on YouTube would correct me if I made a mistake. So I'll just be quiet. Frank Franzetta made a lot of these. Joe Juiceco made a lot of covers. Here's number 10. Now, in this series, there were 235 issues. I have the whole run. I have a few doubles. This box continues some of my run. Just random 87. And I'm just literally going through randomly. What number is that? 108. Yeah, they're just awesome covers, action covers. And again, some of these beasts, they're not in the stories. They're just cool looking stories. It continues into this magazine size box. And I am going to be making a magazine size box of a comic cabinet so that I can put these in. I'll get to that. Now here's the last issue. Or actually, that's not the last issue. Here's the last issue in the series. Came out in 1995. This series started in 1974. But here is the first and only annual to Savage Sword of Conan. Now here I have Marvel Comics Super Special. There were 2. They did this with a lot of characters. 2 of them involved Conan. I have both of those. There's a movie. It's Arnold looking Conan with Valeria. Conan the Destroyer. Here is my run of Savage Tales. Now, there were 11 in Savage Tales. The original Savage Tales came out in the 70s. The first 5 dealt with Conan. After that, it was Khazar. This is the one where I showed you the CGC copy. This copy I have here, it's like I said, it's probably 80 to 90. Okay. Yep. Number 2, I have a couple copies of this one. That's a cool cover. Here's some little comic history here. If you look where my thumb's at, it would show the damsel's derriere. Well, Marvel thought that couldn't go on a cover, so they kind of blurred it out with a little bit of paint. Here's 3. Four, and then 5. And then from here on, Khazar takes over this Savage Tales series. Let me put these back. And then I have a whole bunch of, where are they out here? Marvel graphic novels. There were a series of them, and they weren't just Conan. Think of X-Men, yeah, a lot of X-Men series. Conan the Horn of Azeroth, Conan the Isles, The Ravagers Out of Time. I'll say, now these graphic novels, I think they're underrated. And not just the Conan ones. I think a lot of the Marvel series, these graphic novels, you don't hear as much about them as you should. And there was some really great storytelling and art in these. The Skull is set. I don't know if I like that color. It's yellow. I like yellow covers, but I don't know if I like this yellow cover. The Witch Queen of Acheron, forgive me. But, all right, those are my magazines of Conan. And I have a bunch, trust me. Too many. But, all right, so we're going to start way over here. This drawer has my Conan in it. Now these are the originals. And again, I can't show you all these. There were originally 275 in the first Conan the Barbarian series. But I'll show you the first 10 or so. I love these cabinet drawers, because if I need to find a comic book, it is super quick. This is a low-grade copy of number 4. Well, it's cool. Barry Windsor Smith did the art of the first 24 Conan series. And you could tell, I mean, the guy was very detailed. I'm not saying my favorite Conan artist, but he definitely was very talented. Now, if I don't show you this one, my son will be mad at me. Conan the Barbarian, number 23. The first cameo appearance of Red Sonja. But if you look, there was a misprint on all of the copies. It's Conan the Barbarian. Again, a little bit of comic book history. Here is the first appearance of Red Sonja. The last issue that Barry Windsor Smith did. And I love that cover. Classic bar fight, yeah, with Conan and Red Sonja in it. The detail that Barry Windsor Smith put into Conan, I like. This was a younger Conan, so he wasn't the big muscular one that he later becomes. But, and just more and more. 86. The big issue here being, if I can find it, 100. That is the death of Belit. They tried to bring her back in 2019. Marvel did in her own series. But turn around, go over here, sir. The cameraman, it's not his fault. I gotta give him instructions. A lot more of the original series. Yeah. And a lot of these, actually I can show you my first comic book that I ever owned. Right here. An Ernie Chan cover. I actually pressed this book not too long ago. Before that, it was pretty wrinkled. The press did, I couldn't believe how well it came out. Here is the final issue of Conan the Barbarian, the original series in 275. This was printed in 1993. A relatively hard book to find. I mean, you can find it on eBay or whatever, but it used to be a cheap book. It's becoming premium. King size special annual number 1, a Barry Windsor Smith cover. Some more annuals over here. Just some more. It's kind of a forgettable cover. Then, last annual right here. This came out in 1987. Then Conan for a couple years would just do miniseries with, Marvel would do miniseries with Conan. And they would do like 3-issue miniseries. And just, they did a few. This is technically considered Conan the Barbarian Volume 2. This is issue number 2. They only did 3 for this. Here's the third one. And I have doubles, I'm sure I do. I have these. This is a signed. I have a handful signed, about 2 dozen signed by, and I'm going to mispronounce this, Val Semetics or Semix. Honestly, I don't know. The guy is a pretty good artist. I love him, but I've never heard anyone say his name out loud. Semix. All right. Now, where do we at here? Oh, that's more of that signed. Okay. Here is Conan the Barbarian, Queen of the Black Coast, number 1. Whenever Dark Horse took over the Conan series, they started with a self-titled book, Conan, but then eventually they went to Conan the Barbarian. There were 25 issues here in this series. And here's the 25th. Now, Marvel, there were also, and I'll show you, Conan Cimmerian, Conan the Avengers, Conan Savage. But Marvel got the rights back to Conan in 2019. And honestly, they made 25 separate covers for issue number 1. And I made sure I got all of them. And that was kind of a lot of fun tracking down all the covers. All right, I'm probably going to be in the minority here, but I do not really care for Skottie Young's art. I don't know why it's so popular. But that being said, everybody can like what they like. And a lot of people like Skottie Young variants. So, and it, you know, to each their own. But I do have some Skottie Young variants. Here is the main cover, cover A, for the 2019 series. And just, I'm going to show you all the variants. There, like I said, there are 25 of them. There's a 1 in, I think this is a 1 in 50 variant. Virgin variant. I'll be honest, this is a sketch that I can't remember what store commissioned that variant to be made. It's a 1 in 25 variant of this book. Another store variant. X-Men in it. Like I said, there's 25 of these, but honestly, I'm kind of proud to show these off because it was just such a, it was fun tracking them down. I don't know how I feel about variants. I go back and forth. 1, man, there's way too many variants. 2, my gosh, is it a lot of fun tracking them all down. So this, I believe, is the second printing. In fact, it is the second printing. So I'm almost done. It should be almost done. Here's a Conan the Barbarian, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Conan the Barbarian picture cover. That's kind of cool. Here's a 1 in 200 store variant. I do have every single one of these. So at least I think I do. I have everyone that's listed and then some. If any of you guys find out that I don't own a certain cover, let me know. This is a blank variant. It's just white. This is the action figure variant. I don't know how I feel about those. This one is signed by in Huckley. It's a store variant. Here's the Virgin store variant. I really like this cover. Here, take that again a little bit further away. Yeah, I definitely like that cover. When I'd see it on eBay, I didn't really care for it, and then I saw it in person. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. My cameraman, he's getting good at this. I think he is, I don't know. I'm kind of looking over my shoulder, seeing what he's filming. Oh, now we finally got to number 2. I'm not going to go over every single one. I think I just went through 25. That includes the 1 in 500 variant, and that includes that other CGC that I have over there, that where he's in the arena. But here's just more. Here's Man-Thing. Actually, here's another little fun fact in history. This Savage Tales number 1. That's also the first appearance of Man-Thing. So all you Man-Thing fans. That sounds so bad, but all the Man-Thing fans, that is the first appearance of Man-Thing. John Buscema, Hidden Gem. Love John Buscema art. If somebody asked me what my favorite Conan artist would be, it's John Buscema. That being said, there's so many out there that I like. Conan the Exodus, that was a series recently. Movie special. Number 2 of the movie special. Sorry, I'm not pulling these out. I probably should be. What I can see with my eyes and what you can see with the camera are 2 different things. Movie special. Doubles, of course. And again, here's more of those limited series that Marvel was putting out in the late 90s. Usurper. Yep. You can tell me to move. Here's Conan the Cimmerian series that I was telling you about. Again, Conan with the damsel. Do they still call them damsels? Alright. That's that drawer. This drawer's packed in pretty good. Okay, so I definitely have all of Conan the Cimmerian from the Dark Horse series. What other cover? Oh, Conan the King. Now, here's another movie for Conan the Destroyer, the movie series. Issue number 2. They only did 2. Actually, might be another. Nope. Here's a limited edition. That's, I don't know, I just kind of like that. That was a 1 in 10 variant. Now, Conan the King. Conan the King ran for 55 issues, but after issue 20, it changed its name. Then it became Conan the King. Or forgive me, what? Conan the King? King Conan is what they named it. I just was drawing a blank there. King Conan after issue 20. Here's Conan the Slayer. Another Dark Horse series. More Conan miniseries. Conan Road to Kings. That was a 12-issue series written by the original Conan comic writer Roy Thomas. Roy Thomas has written more Conan comics than anybody else. Serpent War. It's a virgin. Serpent War that just came out at the end of last year. This is the original. This is a one-shot. The Weight of the Crown. This is a King Conan series. This isn't Conan, but that's the first appearance of King Cole in comic books. Creatures on the Loose, number 10. And there's a new series. Savage Sword of Conan. But also, I also collect all the Red Sonja comics. There was a Savage Avengers series. It was kind of... I'm mixed on this. While I do enjoy reading this story, they made Conan such a one-dimensional character. They made him like he was a very dim-witted savage from, you know, that didn't have intelligence. Where if you read Conan, he's always problem-solving and he's quite intellectual. Even though he is a barbarian. I mean, let's not make any bones about that. But in this writing, they just weren't true to his character. They made him one-dimensional. Yeah, this is a fun series. Carnage-ized Elektra. Alright. Now that's Conan with a gun. You cannot go wrong with Conan having a machine gun in his hand. But that should be all those. That's Savage Hulk. Savage Sword of Conan. 2019. They only made 12 issues of this. Here's number 1. Alex Ross. Now, I do like this issue. That's Alex Ross. And number 4. I don't know. It's just such a... it has covers from the original Savage Sword of Conan. I just love this cover. I need to get this book slabbed is what I need to and hang it on the wall because it just looks like it should be there. Now, I also have other Conan books. Here's the Marvel Treasury editions. And again, these weren't just Conan. Marvel did it for all their characters. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, but I have the 4 Conan issues. And they're bigger. They're a lot bigger than the magazines. And yeah, they don't CGC these. I'm sure I have other books out there. But so if you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead. And like I said, I definitely have more Conan series out there, but I can't go through. I mean, this would be an hour-long video if I went through all of them. So, but if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments, and I will make sure that I answer them. Well, thanks so much.